Okay, this is 7SP3, 7th grade, Statistics and Probabilities, Standard 3, Video 1, Mean, Median, and Mode. This standard said that it would like to informally assess the degree of visual overlap of two numerical data distributions with similar variabilities. And it goes on and on and on. And before we get into all of that, I think finding the average would be important. And that would fall in line with this idea called the mean. And in addition to that, I'd like you to know about the median and the mode. So let's dive right in. On page 2, we have a couple of terms I'd like you to know. Please jot these down in your journals and define them. Okay, it says find the mean, median, and modes of this data. So these are 3 different ways that we can find the middle point or the average of these particular numbers. And the numbers might represent temperature outside, I guess. There are 8 numbers, so maybe the last 8 days that we've had, we could look at this in terms of temperature. All right, so the mean or the average is the sum of the values divided by the number of the values. Okay, so to find the mean or the average, basically we are going to add all of the inputs together. And then we are going to divide that total, whatever that total is, divided by the number of inputs. So we said there were 8. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, it's time for the calculator. And let's start from the left and go to the right. So we have 64, 60, 64, 38, 52, 65, 61, and 48. Make sure we got them all in the line here. That is going to equal a total of 452. So we have 452 divided by 8. Let's do that right now. So divided by 8 inputs gets us, what do we have? 56.5. And if we were dealing with temperature, we could put degrees on there, whatever we were calculating in terms of this particular data. Okay, so 56.5, 56.5, final answer. Okay, the median is a little different. In the median, it says the middle value. This median is the middle value when they are written in numerical order or number order from left to right. Okay, so let's start off by doing that. Let's put them in number order from left to right. All right, looks like the smallest number is 38. And then we have, looks like 48 is next. 52. 60. 61. We have two 64s. We got to write them both down. 64 and 64 here and here. And then we have 65. Okay, now we need to find the middle value. So I usually take my fingers, my left finger and my right finger, and I start working my way towards the center. I know I can't do it with 2 pens at the same time here, but working your way toward the center, I can eliminate the 38 and the 65. Moving on down, the 48 and the 64 cancel each other. The 52 and the next 64 cancel, and it looks like we are left with 2 numbers in the middle. And if it has 2 numbers in the middle. That's an even amount of numbers in the middle. We have to find the mean of those two middle values. So basically we're finding the halfway point between that 60 and 61. Now, a couple ways you could do that. You could add them up and divide by 2 because there are two inputs and we're finding the mean. So 60 plus 61 divided by 2, or just think of, since the numbers are pretty close to each other, what is the halfway point between 60 and 61? Well, the halfway point would be 60 and a half. That would be your final answer. Okay, but let's show that mean of the two values. So if these were the two values, 60 and 61, I'll come over here. So 60 plus 61, find the mean, which means divide by those two. You get 60 plus 61, that's 121. 121 divided by 2. And there it is. You get the same answer of 60 and a half. All right, the last way of finding the average or the middle or some type of occurrence between your data. We're trying to study all these pieces of data to see if they have any type of relationship to each other. And now we're going to talk about the mode. Now the mode is the value that occurs most often. It could have no mode, one mode, or more than one mode. All right, so I'm going to go through each of those situations for you. Okay, so the one that occurs the most often, or in other words, the one or ones that occur more times than the others. Now, is there any number in here that is the case? Do we have a number or numbers that occur more than the others? And it is. We have 64. So 64 occurs once and twice, and 2 times is more than the others because the others all occur one time. So the mode is equal to 64. All right, so in this case we have, what was that one? It can have none. So this one has one particular mode. All right, I chose some new values here because I wanted to show you the other cases or the other possibilities that could occur. Let's see, what do we have? We have a 6 and a 6. So these occur 2 times. We have an 8 and an 8, 2 times. A 10, a 14. So those all occur. So a 4, the 10, the 14, and the 15 all occur one time. But these numbers over here, the 6 and the 8, occur more than they do. So more times than the others. And since they're both occurring twice, I can have 2 modes. So the modes are 6 and 8. All right, the last one. Now, here's a situation where I have the 4 occurring twice, the 6 occurring twice, the 8 is occurring twice, and the 10 is occurring twice, which means there isn't a number on this list that occurs more times than the other. They all occur the same amount of times. In this case, it's 2 times. If they all occurred 3 times, let me draw that out there. Maybe there was a 4, another 6, another 8, and another 10, and they all occurred maybe 3 times. I'll just change these into ugly 3s for you. Those don't really look like 3s, but you know what I'm getting at. So maybe they occur 3 times, maybe they could all occur 4 times, but if they all occur the same amount of times, which is more than the others, there is no mode here. They all occur the same amount. They don't occur more times than the others, so there is no mode here. And you would just write that down, no mode. Okay, in your journals, I'd like you to define the given terms on page 2 of the flip chart. Write a few sentences on what you learned from the video. If you have any questions, bring those questions to class.